All right, we are live on YouTube.
Thank you, sir. And then I will call this meeting of Chalfont Borough Council to order, as it is 7 o'clock. And Mayor Wallace, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor Wallace. And Dawn, would you call the roll, please?
Brian Wallace,
Here.
Tracy Bowen.
Here.
It was announced that Jeff is out sick. John Engel,
Here.
Mark Glidden,
Present.
Marilyn Jacobson,
Here.
Mike Kelly,
Here.
Mitch Meyerson,
Here.
Gia, Sean Curran,
Here.
Mike McGinnis,
Here.
Pat DeGangi, and Rich O'Brien. And I see Officer Milligan's here. That's it.
Indeed. Thank you, Dawn. I will announce that this meeting is being recorded. I am not aware of any changes, additions, or deletions to the agenda. Does anybody have any changes, additions, or deletions?
No?
I see none. Do we have any public comment, Dawn or Sean?
I didn't receive any.
No.
Dawn, nothing from Sean.
Nope.
Okay. Thank you. Would anybody care to make a motion for the consent agenda? Dispense with the reading of the minutes from the April 12th, 2021 council meeting with disbursements from the general fund of $174,099.50 for the month of April, with the financial report to be filed for audit.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, or discussion? Anything from the public, as we have Garrett Lewis here? I see none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Yes. Was that an aye, Mike?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Anybody opposed, say nay. That motion carries. We have no special items, so we will move to the mayor's report. Mayor Wallace.
I have nothing new to report.
What about the Central Bucks Police Commission report, Mr. Wallace?
Just
Mayor
a couple
Wallace.
of things. We lost a part-time officer, but we had a part-time officer as well. Actually, the officer we lost, she was hired for, I think she was there a month or 6 weeks, and Warrington grabbed her away for a full-time job. We have taken the steps to turn one of our the remaining part-time officer into a full-time officer. And I forget what, it was kind of an emergency type of situation where we were able to grab him and put him into service right away. And I forget what the logistics of that were, but we had to make up some time. And we have a couple officers out that are on disability, one under suspension. And so it really puts a strain on the schedule. I personally am going to, and we've talked about this before in council, I'm personally going to be pushing towards getting approval from all the commission members to start stacking up some more officers. The chief has asked for in the last a couple of years for at least 3 more officers. And one of the things that this shows us especially with this part-time program, is how vulnerable the schedule is. And what happens is there's always somebody to cover it, but you might have somebody that's been on 2 or 3 18-hour shifts, which is not good. The regular shift is 12 hours, plus the overtime on those shifts, not to mention the strain on the officer who has to then come back for another 12-hour shift if he's on an 18-hour shift. Puts a lot of strain on the scheduling. So that's going to be one of my things that I'm going to be pushing for. I know that we've had some support from Borough Council for that as well in the past, but I think it's really evident right now that we really need that help. It's hurting the performance. It's hurting our relationship with the officers. The community doesn't see it, but at some point the community may. So that's going to be our next step. Marilyn, do you want to comment on the building?
The building is on schedule to be completed August 18th. And after the contractors leave, then they put the furnishings in. So things are going along really well.
Looks like sometime in September, late September, probably take it over.
By the time everything gets moved in.
We actually, I guess nobody had ordered blinds. So we actually had to have a change order to order blinds for the building. We took a tour of the building about a week and a half ago, or last month actually. And the one side of the building gets the western sun all day long. And they have these big, like 8-foot tall windows. So blinds are going to be pretty important on that side of the building. And so we're looking at a late September, probably occupation. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Public Works Committee, Mrs. Jacobson.
Yes, the report is in the packet. I just wanted to point out, we included in the report the map of the trail that got funded. It's a half-mile of trail that will connect the open space in Patriots Place, Chestnut Street Park to the Linden Field Parkway, the pedestrian bridge that leads to North Branch. And hopefully we can have the construction will probably take place in 2022. So it's always good to get a funded grant. And I'll just go ahead and talk about the 5K. So far we have 54 runners signed up for the virtual 5K. Today, we finished the Chalfont Trails 5K course. So that will be on the Bucks 5K series website. Plus, I think once it's finalized, we'll put it on Chalfont's website. So that includes the trail goes in Twin Streams, Strong Family, and Michael Bishop Park. Mitch, you had a question?
Yes. Are you done? Ready for questions?
Sure.
Okay. So the thing is, I've been talking to Sean about this for the past 2 weeks now. We know what's going on with Butler Avenue is quite a deal. Currently, they are doing the trench repairs and whatnot, but Sean's gone out there and he's stopped them and tried to tell them how to do it right. And they do not have the adequate flag men going on. Today they had Bristol Road vulnerable. They had a guy up the road, but no one controlling Bristol Road. So cars were being stopped on the railroad tracks because no one was there to stop them. And then the cars would be backed up at the one-way lane because no one was there to get the cars through the red light intersection. Sean said, quick guys with no hard hats, they don't have proper flags from what I've seen. But the other big thing is for the residents, we need to be advised where and when they're doing this so we can be prepared to get around. There are people like me that cannot take the covered bridge as a detour. The other day I had to drive halfway around the county to get to the business, to the parkway to go around because it was so backed up. I don't understand why we can't be advised as to when and where they're doing this, what time, And to have enough guys, 2 guys for this detour is not enough. This is ridiculous. So, I mean, as part of Public Works, I understand streets is involved. We need to get on with them, with not just the contract, but PennDOT. Someone's got to, and the reasoning is someone could get hurt. And we don't want to see that. I mean, I know, understand that it has to be done and it's delays, but someone could get hurt. So I'm looking for a solution to this problem tomorrow. Thank you.
Well, I know, Sean, you were out there today, right?
I've been out there multiple times. The Aqua has been made aware countless times, and I have brought this to PennDOT's attention the last 2 weeks, including today, that the flaggers are certified. It is a flagging company that's out there, and for the most part, they are following the requirements of what PennDOT requires, but they should be wearing appropriate attire. They're definitely not doing anything above and beyond in their flagging process. I mean, we've had multiple complaints that we've received from residents about this. I will reach out again tomorrow. I don't know. I can talk to the Central Bucks Regional Police to see if we can maybe have them try to enforce it. There's only so much we can ask for before we have to really push the issue. Because it's a state road, we have limited, ability to make anything happen. But PennDOT assured me today that they will take a look at this and do something, but that is just what it is. It's a promise that they're going to come out and look at it. It's not a guarantee that anything's going to change. So I am aware of it, and we're trying our best to make the situation better. Usually when I go down there, it gets better for the day, and then within a day or two, they're back to their tricks again.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Marilyn, can I ask one question, Marilyn, as well? The measured 5K route that goes through Twin Streams, as you mentioned, is there a map of that? And is that something that we could put on our website to show like where the start is and where the stop is?
Yes, Sean and I were working on that today along with Art Berger. It's taken Art Berger volunteered to measure and mark the course, and he got it marked, I think, last Friday. So then we had to make the map, and it will should be on both the 5K series website and ours, hopefully by tomorrow. So it's in my computer right now.
That's good. I saw the arrows, and I think people were kind of running and following them, but not really knowing how far they'd gone or where they were heading. It was just like, oh, I'll turn.
Yes,
Yeah, I think that's great.
that is a problem because there's looping that involves. It does start on the pedestrian bridge, and it starts on the Twin Streams side of the pedestrian bridge. There's a start mark there. You go around Twin Streams and then across the bridge, and then down Blue Jay, up past the Udemy track in Bishop Park, all the way to the end until you get to Lenape. Is that Landing? Is that Lenape? Yeah. And then the cul-de-sac, you get back on the trail and reverse what you've done. And you have to, once again, cross the pedestrian bridge, go to the right, and the finish line is about 130 feet from the pedestrian bridge.
Yeah, again, we kind of, I think we figured that out. But if there was something on the website or eventually further down the road, another way to do that, I think that's a nice idea. So thank him for marking all those things. And
so
that sounds a nice thing.
I'll send you a copy after the meeting.
Once we're done working through the revisions, there's been multiple revisions, then we can definitely post it.
Mm-hmm. And we may improve the signing also.
Well, it's good. People are eager to get on the trail or on the track. Is that it, Marilyn?
Yes.
Jeff is out, is not present. I gather, Mitch, there was no facilities meeting?
No, as Jeff mentioned last month, he was going to get a meeting, but I imagine what happened if he's not feeling great. We haven't done it yet, so nothing to report. Thank you.
What about, you want to just continue to utilities committee, Mitch?
And for utilities with the pandemic, there's just nothing going on to report of any consequence. That's it.
Okay, there is no finance committee report, and unless I'm mistaken, Gia Wallace is not present for the Junior Borough Council member report. So we will move to staff reports. Sean Curran.
Sure. I have two items to discuss. One is just to let everybody know, if you've seen and if you hear anything about it, the gate on New Jersey Avenue was run through. It was on the 6th, so last Wednesday, and it was in the early morning hours of the 6th. A car drove through it and mangled the gate pretty good. It's been propped open. It cannot be closed until repairs are made. So currently the gate is open. If you hear anything from any residents, we are obviously aware of it, and we're looking through the best course of action to make the gate, functional again.
Do you have the car and the insurance?
Nope, nobody stopped. The neighboring resident woke up in the morning and saw that the gate was half open, and when he went out, he could see it was all bent. So he called, and I stopped out there about 8:00 in the 8:30 the next morning, and had the guys come down, and we got the gate open enough so that it can, be safe for pedestrian and vehicle traffic up and down the street. But you can't just close it the way it currently is. Because the trash company, the post office, everyone has to be able to open and close it easy. We can't just force it shut and lock it that way. The fire department, everyone has to have full access. So it has to be 100% operational before we can close it again. Other than that, the Lilac Lane paving and water main replacement project, as of the tentative schedule, the project was put out to bid on Penn Bid today. We'll be mailing letters out to all residents along Lilac Lane, hopefully tomorrow, if not Wednesday. And the bids will be opened on June 8th. And we would then potentially be awarding on June 14th at the council meeting. Yes, Mitch?
Oh, so I just want to bring to the meeting the two issues that we've been talking about this past week without naming names. Maybe when the lamplighter and on the webpage we restate to the public that you can't just go ahead and build whatever you want, like build your own driveway and storage facility for your RVs and whatnot without getting permits and or following the current codes, as we discovered this past week. So a reminder to all residents, if you think it might need a permit, it probably does. So do it before you make a very costly mistake. So I hope to see that in the lamplighter or some publication. The other thing is, I've been talking to Sean about, I'm not sure if this falls in the near future, we might want to discuss enhancing our borough codes to have construction fencing on certain size construction sites and sites that involve excavation and sites where we recently had a major fire and there was dangerous situation where if a kid had walked in and part of the building had fallen down. So I'm hoping that we continue with an investigation of just, and again, we don't have to invent the wheel, taking other towns, like Sean mentioned, Warrington has construction and emergency fencing on the books. So I'd like to see that implemented in the near future for safety. Thank you.
Yeah, Warrington's, what we were discussing, Warrington's, they enacted something where construction equipment has to be housed in a fence area. They can't just leave backhoes and bulldozers laying out in the middle of a field. But it's something we're actively looking into. Mr. Meyerson had brought it to my attention, and we're seeing what other surrounding communities do, and we'll possibly come back if necessary with a recommendation in the future. Any
Anything
other
else for the
questions?
man? I don't think so. Thank you, Sean. You have the engineer's report in the packet. Solicitor's report, Mike McGinnis.
My report is in the packet. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Captain Milligan, anything from the regional police?
The information is contained in the packet.
Thank you, sir. As is the Public Works report. Also in the packet, you will find the Chalfont EMS March report and a copy of March's call volume report. Is that actually March? Bear with me 1 minute.
It is March's. The county, there's been a delay in them getting information from the county. So their reports and all our meetings have been earlier in the month. So it just gets
That's
delayed.
fine. I just didn't want to misspeak. Thank you. And that brings us to the action items. The first being consideration to approve the proposed trade-in amount of $3,000 from Robert E. Little for the John Deere 1445 front end mower. Does anybody have any questions for the manager on that? I think that's more than you expected to get for it, isn't it, Sean?
It is. I was pleasantly surprised. Right now, stock is very hard for them to get, and the used equipment is selling very well and at a good price. So that's a very competitive offer, in my opinion.
Would anybody care to make that motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any comments, questions, or discussion from council? Or from any member of the public? I see none, so a vote is in order. That can be a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? That motion carries. The second action item is consideration of certificate of appropriateness for hard application 21-02 for a new sign at 21 North Main Street. Would anybody care perhaps to make that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is there a second? I'm sorry, who was the second?
I was, Mike.
One of them, I don't know who else.
So who was the first second? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Tom,
Who
do you
else
know
said?
I said it as well, so flip a coin between Tracy and I.
I guess we will call it Mike Kelly.
I'm good with that.
Definitely. Okay, it's not a slight. Any questions, comments? This has been approved by Harb. I see no questions, comments, or discussion from council or the public. In that case, those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? That motion also carries. And the final action item is consideration of the CO certificate of appropriateness for Hard 21-03 for a roof replacement at 10 East Butler Avenue. We do have Harb's approval on the COA. Would anybody care to make that motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, or discussion from council or the public? I see none, so a vote is in order. All those in favor, respond with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion also carries. I am not aware of any old business. Does anybody, I'm sorry, Marilyn,
Yes. I don't have
did
old.
you have?
No.
I've got a terrible audio delay. It's making life a little bit difficult tonight. I am not aware of old business. Does anybody have any old business?
No.
I see none. New business.
No.
I wanted to
Also
make
none.
a quick mention, if that's okay, just to say a thank you and unfortunately a goodbye to a local business. Tilton Back Brewing is leaving as of the 15th. They started about a year and a half ago. Two brothers. It's a great story. Made it all the way through the pandemic. A really great kind of a family team there. It's a really nice setting. Really with great service and a great business in the borough for quite some time. So we're really sad to see them go. Wish them the best. Certainly we hope they can relocate within the borough. But if they don't, hopefully it's someplace nearby. So we certainly wish them the best and want to thank them as a great business for the past year and a half.
So Mike, are they shutting down?
No, they are being moved.
So they were evicted?
Yes.
That's too bad. They weren't evicted. Their lease was not renewed. They're not being evicted. So.
Right, the lease was not.
Okay, so I'm not sure what the difference is, but they're they were actually fantastic. I'm sorry, really sorry to hear that.
I'm not aware of any correspondence. Any correspondence? I see none. Public comment. I also see none. And then we get to announcements. Police Commission Finance Committee meeting to be held if required Thursday, May 20th, 6 p.m. A virtual meeting. Actually, all these are virtual meetings. Chalfont Planning Commission Monday, May 24th at 7 p.m. The Central Bucks Regional Police Commission Thursday, May 27th at 7 p.m. Chalfont Harb Monday, June 7th. And the next Chalfont Borough Council meeting will be Monday, June 14th. And if there is no further business to come before council, does anybody care to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Let me interrupt. Did you have something for us, Dawn?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Is that a yes or a no? No. Okay. As I said, my audio, even on the phone, is giving me trouble tonight. I apologize. Thank you. And in that case, we had a motion. We really don't need a second. Is there a second to adjourn so nobody can say we didn't adjourn properly?
Second.
Anybody want a second? Do we have a second?
Second.
And with that, we will be adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.